Hey, everyone out there in Ramblin About Racing Nation. Matt Beamer here alongside with the crew, Charlie Hercus and Austin Reeves, bringing you the latest and greatest from the world of auto racing. A lot to cover this weekend. Some Bristol Bust happened. Going to preview Texas, or what is hopefully going to be a good race for the Xfinity Cup Series. Talk about the 2023 schedule and a bunch of other things. Let's go ahead and get into it. This is a production of ITM Media. Yes, what an interesting weekend of racing that we had here from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Getting ready for Texas coming up here in a few short days. It's going to be a lot of fun here again. Matt Beamer here alongside Charlie Hercus and Austin Reeves from the great state of Alabama. Crack open a beer with us if it's an appropriate time, place, or day. Got my Darlington koozie on, representing the home local track here. I should say, kind of as close as local track as you can get in NASCAR. But gentlemen, how's it going there from the sweet home, Alabama?
Going good. Finished off the season this weekend for me.
Yep. Tell us about that.
Wound up, third to last race and second in the points. So we'll take it.
Better than last season.
Yeah, definitely so. But we'll just try to pick up where we left off and see what happens, but, I'm just happy to put it past us, and I'm looking forward to Talladega and looking forward to getting this league kicked off.
Yeah, we do have some bit of news here. Charlie, Austin, and I will be racing in the VRL League. It is official. We have signed up, paid our dues, and we are racing, what is it, RAR Motorsports?
Something like that.
Something like that. Pretty. We're racing in the upcoming race. We got a little exhibition race coming up here Wednesday night, the 21st. Make sure to follow Ramblin About Racing and all of us on all social media platforms for links to that. It's going to be on YouTube.
AAA Broadcasting on YouTube is where you can go to watch it.
It is from Michigan in the truck series, so watch out for those RAR Fords on the track, and we will get you going there.
Definitely not Fords.
No Fords.
Clarified that.
No. Oh. And we need to clear something. So the way I understood it is, whoever finishes the best out of us three gets the money. Is that how it's supposed to go?
So I got the breakdown right here. It is from Michigan. Watch out! I have two truck series wins from Michigan. I'm just going to leave it at that. In iRacing, we have a 4-stage race going with for a total of 125 laps. Stage 1 will end at lap 50. The top driver from each team will win $20. Stage 2, 75 laps with the same payout. Stage 3 will be up to lap 100 with the same payout. And the final 25 laps, winner of the race gets $50 and top drivers for a team gets $30. $200 purse total here from what it looks like. And it's previewed as the fall brawl, new blood versus old guard. I think we could show these guys a thing or two in the VRL League coming up here Wednesday.
I think we can, but the money situation, need everything we win needs to go to Talladega, because if we don't, Charlie's going to wreck me and you point blank.
Okay, I agree.
I whatever, y'all say that, but I will not. I pushed Austin to a freaking second place win or second place finish the other night.
He did. He wrecked us all, but he did push me to a second place at Talladega.
And I forewarned him. I was like, listen, I'm not going to lock bumpers, but going into the tri-oval, we're about to lock bumpers, and I'm about to push.
He said, here comes a push. You ready? No, I ain't.
Well, we do.
Austin can't push for nothing.
In addition to that, we had something going on here. What was it last week? Before we discovered these guys, we were racing at Daytona or Talladega in the Cup cars, the Class A cars, and I found myself a few laps down because they didn't throw the caution because I wrecked. But hey, whatever. Get my repairs done, and I think the whole lobby was mad at me, especially the leaders, because I Who was that guy who climbed up in front of the field in Talladega? In field?
Jerry something, right? Jerry Nadu.
Yeah, it wasn't Nadu. But holy cow, I totally wrecked the leaders, and all I heard was race control, and I only heard one side of the conversation. It's like, yeah, that's pretty messed up. So if you're out there and you're in that particular race, I apologize. It was an accident. It wasn't an accident. I meant to do that, and screw me, screw you. In iRacing. But again, if you reckon iRacing is somebody else's fault, trademark. Rambling about racing.
But in this league, you do that. They will boot you from the league.
That's going to be our team logo. You know how it's like every team has a logo or a slogan? If you reckon iRacing, it's someone else's fault. RAR Racing.
Put it on the back bumper and everybody's going to dump it.
It would be fun. But man, yeah, what else is going on? Austin, how are the babies? How's mom?
They're doing good. She's doing good. She's still getting up, getting around. The kids are doing well. Growing, I think the boys, he's 3 pounds 1 ounce, and the little girl's 2 pounds 8 ounces. So they keep growing each and every day.
And they're still little.
Oh yeah, they're little. I got to hold them again this weekend, and I can't describe how small they are, but they're pretty small, but it's adorable to hold them.
Oh my goodness, man. We continue to pray for you on that one, because that is a not an easy thing to go through, especially with your first set of twins, I should say.
Kaylin don't know it yet, but I'm going to come up there Wednesday before the Thursday. We're going to Daytona, or not Daytona, Talladega.
That'd be fun.
So I can go hold the babies.
Good luck getting in there, because you can only have 4 guests, and those slots are filled.
Charlie's like, I'm the dad.
I was like, yeah, just walk in there, keep the door open. I'm the daddy. This baby's
Out of pappy.
Talladega is going to be a lot of fun. If you're happen to be at Talladega,
I'm finna walk in that door holding Kaylin's hand. Like, where's my baby?
If you happen to be at Talladega when we're at Talladega,
walk in there holding Trina's hand.
By all means. Who's Trina?
That's my mother-in-law.
What's with Charlie and in-laws?
Man,
you want to know what happened? You want to know what happened?
I didn't even do anything.
You didn't do anything, but here's what happened. At last Thanksgiving, when Charlie was up here at Fort Jackson going through drill sergeant school, I invited him over to our family's house or festivities.
Well, there's your mistake right there. You invited him over.
I did. I did this to myself. I feel like it's a self-inflicted wound, but I invited him over.
But it's my fault.
It is. It is in this sense. Because when Charlie came over, it was Thanksgiving. He was, hey, you got nothing going on there. Come over to our house, at least get a good meal. He was so gentlemanly. I have never seen Charlie act like this.
I was at somebody else's house.
Now, get this, Austin, you're not gonna believe me on this, but I think I got photographic evidence. He came up, nice shirt, nice pants, well dressed.
It was Thanksgiving.
The first thing I did, I'm cooking the turkey with my uncle. I give him a beer. And he says, "Oh, thank you." And he sets it down. He doesn't open it. He sets it down. I go, "What's the deal with that?" I'm like, "Well, it's too early for drinking." I was pretty, that was a slap in the face.
Now, keep in mind, I've never been at these people's house. Now, true. Granted, this ain't, hold on, Austin, before you say anything, this ain't me showing up to work on race cars or nothing over at somebody's shop and stuff like that. This is, I'm showing up at a bunch of people's family's house. Like, I know Matt and I know Caroline. That is it.
All right.
Those are the only 2 people I know. It's not even lunchtime yet.
But it's double digits. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 a.m. I'm already like 4 beers in.
Once again, this is another reason why they may have said you.
Here we go.
That Charlie.
No. I'll tell the story. So Charlie is just so cordial to everybody in the area, which is nice. I mean, I consider Charlie a brother. He's my family. I feel, come over. I know him, but like he said, nobody else does. All of a sudden, I start hearing these whispers. And I heard it from my mother-in-law, who I love to death. I love my mother-in-law to death. But she told my wife, Charlie is the nicest guy ever. And I'm starting to get upset because it took me years to get on her good side. All of a sudden, Charlie just shows up. Man, Charlie's so nice. I swear there was a coup foreman to kill me and replace me with Charlie. I swear there was. He was putting on a front.
That was not.
It worked. It worked because
so like fast forward like a week and a half later, I go to Cracker Barrel with some people that I'm in school with, and I actually bump into some of Caroline's family at Cracker Barrel.
Bumped into our
I'm like, hey, how are y'all? Long time no see.
It was so embarrassing last Thanksgiving. Like, I don't even want to repeat that. It's like, if Charlie comes up again for Thanksgiving, it's just going to be me, Caroline, and Charlie.
Yeah, me and Emma may come on up this year. I don't know.
He's never done that around me. He just kicks the front door open, case of beer in one hand, already drinking two. I've never seen him. No,
he was so.
I also met Austin while he was still in high school.
What's that?
He didn't like me for a long time at all.
Charlie has a problem with not liking people right away.
Like, I don't think he started liking me until like 2 weeks ago, to be honest with you.
Because right off the bat, Charlie and I were butting heads. It wasn't until a snowstorm snowed us in that we got to know each other, and that's like really bad.
It's like either get along or we're going to burn this complex to the ground.
Well, it was funny too because we watched Rocky IV, the one where he fought the Russian, and oh my gosh, I guess this was from Caroline.
Charlie, you are welcome to my family anytime. You are family Caroline. To my family.
That is 100% Caroline right there. So Charlie and I, when we first met.
Thanks, Boo.
Shut up, Charlie. When we first met, or when we got snowed in together, we watched Rocky IV, and we thought it would be a good idea to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get a bunch of UFC gear, like gloves and headgear. And for like 4 hours, we beat the crap out of each other. I think that settled all the differences.
This is like 160-pound Charlie.
This was skinny Charlie.
Yeah, this ain't like 225, 230-pound Charlie like now. This was where Matt could pick Charlie up and throw him down, Charlie.
Yeah, and Charlie and I went to work the next day with shiners. I'm like, what happened to you? I'm like, you should see the other guy. Anyway.
We're in the parking lot at Dick's Sporting Goods, too, and we pull out a football. Caroline said, you're welcome, boo. Anyway, so we pull out a football in the parking lot, and they've pushed all the snow up in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And Matt's like, throw me a pass. I'm going to dive into the snow pile. So I threw him a pass. He laid out. Little did he know it's frozen into an iceberg.
Oh, man.
It hurt, man.
I don't know how he didn't dislocate his shoulder or something.
I ran in hip first. I don't know how I did it. There goes my humorous head.
Oh, man.
Right there at the joint.
Good times. Good times.
Great times. Yeah, Charlie's not invited around my family anymore. It makes me look bad. I'm 4 beers in going, turkey time. Because that's what I do. I mean, like my wife says, and I know she's still watching. My wife says, I've gotten too comfortable around your family. Like, isn't that a good thing? She said, no. You should not be comfortable.
Comfortable, Matt, is not a good Matt.
That is embarrassing.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that was a fun Thanksgiving. Really, really a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm glad everybody's doing well. Hope everyone's doing well out there, whether you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, or your regular podcast platform. Really do appreciate it. And one more thing before we get going. Our Talladega
might have started at 10 o'clock today.
I know, I didn't.
Podcast.
I think our Talladega show, our post-race Talladega show, is fittingly on episode 150. And I want to throw something out there special. Should we get to, let's say, 100 subscribers on YouTube and 650 followers on Twitter, we'll do a random drawing for some Ramblin' About Racing gear. How about that? So make sure to go and subscribe and follow us on all social media platforms. I can follow the page. We got our 23rd 5-star review on the Apple iPod podcast. So that's good. Looking forward to that. Talladega is going to be fun.
Yes, it is.
2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. We're not even 2 weeks away. We're single digits.
Like 9 days from getting there.
Yeah. It's going to be great. Hope everybody, if you're there at Talladega, come see us. We're going to have fun. All right. We got some stuff to break down here. And first and foremost here is going to be the release of the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series schedule. That just happened last week. And I think it happened after we wrapped up last week's show.
Mm-hmm.
But first impressions on it, gentlemen. Got it right here in front of me. I want to hear your first impressions of it real quick.
So we all knew Indy Road Course was going to be back on it because they pretty much was already set in stone, contract, whatever.
They're sold on that road course.
Yeah, but I really honestly believe after this year, I think it'll disappear after this year. I think after this year, you'll probably see the actual Brickyard being ran in 2024. At least I feel like it will be.
I hope so.
I think you'll see where they've been running. Like this year, they ran the road course into what was it, the road course in the Indy 500 the same weekend. Ain't that what they did?
No, they ran the Indianapolis race or Indy Grand Prix.
On the road course.
Yeah,
okay.
It wasn't the 500. It was
okay. Well, they may run the Indy Road Course along with the Cup Series races, but run the Brickyard instead of the road course.
Well, the Coca-Cola 600 is Memorial Day weekend, so is the Indy 500.
Right. Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you're right. The other thing is, of course, going back to North Wilkesboro.
That's the biggest win that I see right here on the schedule. It's an all-star race.
Yep.
But that's going to be a tough ticket to get one.
Yep. But I think that's going to – I think after that, I think the turnout of that and what you're going to see at that place and during that race is what's going to carry over and lead into other things, possibly in the 2024 schedule or the 2025 schedule.
Yeah.
A couple seasons to come. What's going to transpire from that all-star race is going to be amazing. Is how I feel about it.
I think it's going to be a good race.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great race because I think everybody's going to want to win on that track. Nobody's raced on the Cup Series on that track before. And so the first one. Chase Elliott in the Cup Series. Let's say in the Cup Series.
Yeah, not in the Cup Series.
Because I think Ryan Blaney ran it as well.
Yeah.
But in the Cup Series, they're going to want to be the first one to do it. It's going to be like the reboot of the All-Star race. And if NASCAR wants to do this right, they're going to make this All-Star race a night to remember.
If Kurt Busch comes back, I think he has.
I don't know. Not in the Cup Series. In the Cup Series level. That's what I'm talking about. As far as racing on there, because I don't think anybody has. No. Because their last race there was 96, I believe. And that was it. And I think Jeff Gordon won that race. But I think this is NASCAR's opportunity to make the All-Star race relevant again.
Mm-hmm.
And they better not mess it up.
Definitely take it away from Texas. Good Lord.
Yeah, Texas only has one race on the schedule, and that's during the playoffs again, this time next year. But one thing I'm looking at here, another thing from this, I should say, North Wilkesboro thing, I think this opens the door to maybe a Rockingham coming back. I think if the North Wilkesboro goes off well, I think Rockingham.
Yeah, you'll see some momentum. Yeah, you'll see some momentum carry over.
And I think that'll be nothing but good for the sport.
Well, just like you have the Truck Series going back to, what is it, Milwaukee or whatever next year. So that's going to be a great race by itself.
And I'm glad that they did add North Wilkesboro on there because that takes away from why are we running the Clash again at the LA Coliseum? Why not run the Clash at North Wilkesboro or heck, right back there at Daytona, make it Speed Weeks again? One thing I don't like about this, that was what's good about it. Anybody else have anything good about the schedule? Because it's pretty much the same, except for an addition of North Wilkesboro. And
so is Dodge Speedway the Clash? Is that the Coliseum, or is that where they're redoing the Speedway out there?
No, it says LA Memorial Coliseum for the Clash.
Okay. Because I thought I saw somewhere where it said Dodge Speedway, like Dodge something.
Nope, it comes from LA Memorial Coliseum. Now, here's what I don't like about the schedule. And we didn't talk about it when the announcement was made, but I feel like now is as good a time as any. Chicago Street Course, July 2nd. I don't like that whatsoever. I don't like street courses. I hardly like road courses. I definitely don't like street courses. It's been proven with Indy Car that these things are not good races. I don't have high hopes for this race. I don't want to even give it a year like we did with Coda. I don't want to. I don't want to be anywhere near Chicago at all.
No, this is more of a, honestly, this is a political stunt in my opinion.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing NASCAR has done in a while.
And if it ends up going good, fine.
I don't think it is.
But I don't think it will either. I think this is more of another LA Coliseum thing. It's like, hey, let's cater to a certain, I don't even want to say fan base. I'd almost say culture.
Who are they going to pander to? Are they going to pander to all the criminals up there with guns?
Yeah.
How many times are we going to see a shooting at the LA or the Chicago Street Course?
I wasn't going to say that, but I was thinking, are they going to have a concert in the middle of the race too?
What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Cancel us? Screw them. The Chicago Street Course is the stupidest idea NASCAR has done in a while. They had a track, 90 miles west in Joliet? Not even that. A perfectly good speedway there that's being torn down. That's brought some of the most memorable races, in my opinion, and replacing it with a street course for what? I think whoever made the schedule and okayed that should be fired from their position, and us three should go in their position. I don't know. I think it's the most ridiculous thing ever.
I have to agree with you there.
2020, nothing looks like it's changed as far as the playoffs go. No, playoff schedule is still the same. Starts off at Darlington, ends in Phoenix for the championship. Probably won't see a change with Phoenix until the new TV deal comes around, I believe, in 2025.
Yeah, well, I mean, so far the playoffs this year have been, been chaotic. So,
we're going to get to that here. But anything else about the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series schedule? For pretty much it's the same. Not a big fan of some things. I'm a big fan of other things. Hoping we could get tickets to one big event here. But I think next year we're going to do the Southern 500, which will be a lot of fun. Or another track. We could go to Pocono. You guys haven't been to Pocono yet. It's a fun course. Atlanta. That's there in the center. We could do Atlanta.
That'd be fun.
We'll figure that out. But anything else about the schedule, guys? Before we get into the crazy weekend that was Bristol Motor Speedway here for the Cup Series, Xfinity, and trucks. Nope. All right. The races from Bristol Motor Speedway. We're going to start off with the truck series here. John Hunter Nemechek. Oh, sorry, not John Hunter Nemechek.
Ty Majeski.
Ty Majeski getting his first career win in the truck series. I've picked him for weeks. I think my driver I picked, Zane Smith, finished second from last week's episode. It was interesting. It was an okay race.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of the weekend.
I will tell you this, though. Josh Rayum got caught up in a bad accident there, getting hit on the driver's side after spinning out, was diagnosed with a concussion.
Yeah, I'll add on to that once you're done.
And don't know anything about it. I texted Josh. He hasn't texted back. But from all accounts, he's doing all right. I just hope he's okay. And what do you want to add on to that?
So my take on that is, he spun out, all that kind of stuff. Definitely took a lick. Some of these drivers rely way too much on spotters. And this kid is sitting here saying, well, nobody told me. Where were you looking then?
Oh, was that the Raja Caruth?
Yeah.
Is that the one you're hitting? Yeah.
Then where was he looking? Because he had this kid was sliding a whole corner. Like where were your eyes at then? Because you had plenty of time and there was nobody that got into him to turn him and cause him to lose control of his truck. The fact of the matter is the boy panicked and spun himself out because he freaked out and wound up just demolishing the driver's side of Josh's truck, which now he's in most likely going to be a concussion protocol or whatever. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse of why didn't you say something? Well, I was saying it. Whatever. No, there's no blaming the spotter for that one. I'm sorry, because there's been. I know there's a difference in this 100-something mile an hour truck series race and a little 0.4 mile cup light race or whatever, but there's been plenty of times where there's been somebody spin out right in front of me and I can avoid it. So because I'm freaking paying attention, so I don't know where his head was, but he had all the time in the world to react to that. Like these drivers do reaction skills or reaction training and stuff like that. They have coaches that work with these drivers for that type stuff that do nothing but hand-eye coordination skills and stuff like that for this particular thing. So there's no excuse in just freaking out and panicking and losing control of a truck like that and then absolutely smashing the driver's side of another truck. It's just uncalled for. And then you want to just get ugly with your crew chief or a spotter. Well, why didn't you tell me somebody was wrecking? Hey, dumbass, you had plenty of time to react and see that. He was a whole corner ahead of you.
Yeah, because I can probably count on 2 or 3 times of me just checking my phone for lap times and popping up and seeing a car come out in front of you. You dodge it and avoid it, and then I come on the radio, hey, sorry, I was literally 2 seconds checking my phone and nothing happened. So it's all about just pay attention.
Okay, that brings up a good question here that I have for Charlie and I guess Austin too, since he drives and spots. As a driver, the spotter is there as a means, another set of eyes for who's around you, because you're blocked in there for the most part. As far as peripheral vision, in your case, Charlie, you don't have a rear view mirror. You can't really see what's going on around you. And so the spotter would be more of a second set of eyes. Hey, same way, outside, inside, spin behind you, caution's out. You might not be around where you can see a caution flag, but I don't think that's the case in South Alabama Speedway. But it gives you updates on what's going on, not necessarily around you, but hey, there might be some oil in turn 3 while you're in turn 2. Just stay low, something like that.
That happened this weekend.
There you go, point and cadence and point. So the spotter, and to your point, Charlie, and again, all I have is iRacing. I just hear the spotter say, go high, go high. But if I see a hole down low, then I can easily go through. If I was turning right, I'd rather just turn left. I mean, isn't that more on the driver? It's like, I'm going to go low. And
yes, so absolutely. So I'm still driving out of the windshield. I rely, if Austin's spotting for me, I'm relying on him to tell me my blind spots. I can't see if there's a nose of a car, right there at my rear tire, or I don't mirror drive. I refuse to mirror drive. I want to focus on my line, looking out looking what is out in front of me and all that. I refuse to mirror drive people, because I don't like when people mirror drive me.
You don't have to mirror in the car.
Exactly. And the one that came in that car that was up here, I tore that son of a gun out. And I want to know the distance that the person is behind me. And I want to know where I gap him or where they gain me at. And just like in NASCAR, they say, hey, they're telling him where most everybody is running a faster line at. and all that kind of stuff. And they just give them distances. That's my biggest thing. They give them distances, or when somebody gets under me, or when somebody's still above me. That's all I care about. Other than that, I know what's in front of me. Now, if there's a spin on the other side of the track, of course, I can't see what's all the way on the other side of the track. But in that case, it's not like NASCAR. The caution was already out. So I don't get that situation. It's just like he just was not paying attention. So I just don't know. Like he had no excuse for what happened this past weekend.
Right. And I'm curious to see. I just wanted to hear your 2 cents on that, because I feel like it is more of the driver's responsibility to control that vehicle. In any case, it's like,
yeah, especially if that thing, if what's going on is out in front of you, it still falls back in the driver's hands.
Right.
Spotter doesn't control that truck.
It's kind of like driving and it's 2 different worlds here, but driving a fire engine. I come into an intersection with a red light. I can't just blow through the red light. You're responsible for that vehicle and the safety of those around you. And your decision to go and the officer in the right-hand seat, he might see something you don't and say, stop, which has happened to me before. I stopped and a car zoomed through, and the heck with the emergency vehicle. It happens like that sometimes. But I feel like you need those spotters help you out in those situations. Like, whoa, just stop. Vice you making the decision, because you can't. But if you can't see the accident, I feel like it's more on the driver, and to blame it on someone else is trying to just pass the buck. To me, I didn't even.
Sure, boy, he sure did. To me, he didn't waste any time on trying to find a reason of why he did what he did, other than just saying, you know what, guys, my fault. I overreacted, freaked out.
Yeah, I just hope Josh
slid into him.
Yeah, I just hope Josh.
I'm an idiot and don't deserve to be in this series.
Call up Charlie Hercus and bring him up.
Yep.
Okay. But that's it for the truck series.
I'll bring you guys with me.
Oh, thank you, buddy. That was it for the truck series. Anything else on the truck series? Nope.
Decent race.
Yeah, decent race.
But
I don't like winning. Typical racing for the truck series that you expect these days. The Xfinity race, however, was a little bit more exciting. Noah Gragson again winning
3 times in a row.
That guy is on a roll. He's on a tear. He if he's not a favorite in your championship, even though the Xfinity Series playoffs have just started. If he's not a favorite right now, I don't know what to tell you. Because right now he is leading the playoff standings. Of course, we know how fast that can change. And the playoff drivers go like this. I just want to run down who's in the Xfinity Series playoffs. Noah Gragson, Ty Gibbs, Justin Allgaier, AJ Allmendinger, Josh Berry, Austin Hill, Brandon Jones, Jeremy Clements, Sam Mayer, Daniel Hemrick, last year's champion, Riley Herbst, and Ryan Sieg right there at the end, squeaking in, beating Landon Castle for that final spot. I thought it was a better race, but then I brought it up to you guys, and I don't know if I tweeted it out or not. I think I did. That the Xfinity, the final race for the Xfinity Series playoffs of the regular season, I should say, would have been a lot more exciting had there not been Cup Series drivers racing there and taking wins. That's just me.
You talking about all season?
All season, up until this point. We've seen it.
Yeah, I was still close, but yeah, I see where you're coming from. Too.
I mean, it just feels like it'd be a little more excitement by so many open spots.
Yeah, and there definitely was a lot of open spots. I see where you're coming from as far as, there probably would have been maybe 3 more different winners.
And I think for next week's episode, I'll go through there and see who finished second and see if it changed it up at all and give you an update on that. But right now, I just feel like it would have been a lot more exciting if that happened. It doesn't matter. Noah Gragson won. Again, I want to say dominant fashion, but there when he needed to and running very consistently.
Yeah, I'll touch on that in a minute, but I want to touch on something else first.
Well, let's touch on it there, Charlie. What do you got?
I won't say Noah won in dominant fashion. I will say another junior motorsports car was definitely probably the fastest car all day long, and that will be the one of Sam Mayer. He's an idiot.
Sam Mayer's an idiot?
Yeah, it made a bonehead move, took himself out of the race.
Man, okay.
Went 3 wide to clear some lap traffic, and wound up wrecking himself. And it was with like 2 laps to go in a stage.
2, 4 laps to go, and Allgaier. I think it was Allgaier in front of him. I think it was.
I think it may have been his
teammate. He was a second and a half in front of him.
Yeah, there was no way he was catching him. He was well ahead of the third place car, and so all he had to do was ride around the track for a few more laps. Would have finished second in the stage, and made his way towards the front again in the final stage, but just didn't have enough time after doing that. So my thing is, you hear the excuse from the booth so many times. Well, these guys are just so young, yada, yada, yada. Here's my thing. How many times we're going to use this excuse? They're just so young. Well, if they're that young and they're just, making these dumb excuses, why are we putting them in the car? And I genuinely feel Junior, he does. You don't hear him. He's very good in a booth to call it like it is and not
be unbiased.
Yes, be very unbiased. And there was a couple moments there to where I felt like I could hear it in his tone or hear it in his voice to where he was just pissed with Mayer. Like he was, I've about had enough of this kid. Like he has had plenty of times to win races because he's had fast cars and he's just made stupid decisions. And enough's enough. And that is those moments are the moments I felt like that's the mentality I feel like Junior has had in those moments, I guess. So that's what I've kind of taken away from that situation. Now, back to Gragson winning the race. Yes, he won it. I do feel like Brandon Jones probably could have dumped him any moment.
Or not necessarily dumped him, but gave him a shot, put him in the wall, and drove up.
Absolutely. He had the car to pass him. For sure. 2 things there. I don't think he was going to do that to his next year's boss for one reason, or for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, that is going to be his boss next year. The second reason, to give a big middle finger to Gibbs.
But if you were Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that situation and you saw Brandon Jones beat your car, the car he's going to be in next year, let's just say that because he is going up to that 9 car next year. Wouldn't you want him? Wouldn't you say, hey, you showed him you're a good fit for that car? I mean, is it?
Yeah, but
yes. I see where you're coming from there. Yes.
Right. Because it's kind of like Denny Hamlin.
But I guess I see it more on Jones's side for this particular race because I was telling Austin, I see over the next couple of years, I legit see a downfall of Gibbs, of Joe Gibbs Racing. Not to the point where they're going to be like, to the point where Roush was for like maybe the past 5 or 6 years. But, they may get to the point of Richard Childress Racing up until this year or so. Or maybe like this year. But I just think there's a lot of negativity in that camp right now. And I don't think it's getting any better. I think it's getting a lot worse. And it's not just – I think it's started with the Xfinity Series, and I think it has done nothing but go up to the Cup Series, especially with the fact that Little Gibbs is going to the Cup Series next year. There's no doubt about that. We all know it's coming.
Right.
So I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of negativity that is going to follow, and I might be completely wrong. Who knows? But I just feel like there's a lot of negativity that's going to follow Ty to the Cup Series. And it's going to be a lot like Richard Childress spoon feeding Dylan, just like Joe Gibbs is going to be spoon feeding Ty Gibbs.
I don't know. I think Joe Gibbs is trying to learn this car. They're not having the season that we're used to seeing a Joe Gibbs having by any means. However, I will have to say that there are some bright spots here. Christopher Bell running way more consistently in the playoffs than I thought he would.
Well, I can't remember what announcer called it earlier in the year, and it may have been about the midpoint of the season when NBC took over. But somebody said, and I can't remember, it may have been Burton or it may have been a junior. I can't remember. But one of them said Christopher Bell is the main guy at Joe Gibbs right now. And I didn't believe it. But, boy, if they prove me wrong right now, because he is. I mean, he's by all means like the main guy. He said he may not have it. He may not have – the DNFs might not show it because there was at the beginning of the season he had some DNFs.
He did.
But, man, they have completely – they've had a 180. And I'm telling you, like everybody – there should not be a bracket left in the world for the Cup Series right now that's going to make it to the end.
Well, I will say, unless you're a Christopher Bell fan, you didn't put him in going to the round of 12. I didn't. My bracket's
I did. I put him into the round of 12.
Yeah, I had him going to the second round.
I'll go back and listen to the audio from when we did it to confirm that. So if you're cheating, Charlie,
I ain't cheating.
Awesome.
I ain't no cheater. Even though I got accused of it this past weekend, but whatever.
Oh,
I got my bracket right here.
Hey, but we ain't gonna go into it because people listening to this show, and I don't even want to get into it. So
I kind of want to get into it.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're
not.
We'll touch
All
on
right.
the mic cold.
Mike's cold.
I got one more thing about that extender. Did y'all watch the 2 videos I sent y'all in the group chat?
Yeah.
What did you
The
take
Jimmy
of
Johnson and then the Noah Gragson thing?
What did you take of it? Did you see what I saw?
Yes and no, but mainly was the Jimmy Johnson one a Bristol race?
No, it was back in 2011. I don't know what race it was, but
exactly. See, if it was a Bristol race, I would say yes. Depending on what race it is, then sure. I do see where you're coming from because the look on Chad Canals's face when he realized, oh crap, there's a camera, was priceless.
Now you're gonna have to tell me what's going on here.
So back in 2011, Chad Canals leaned in the window of Jimmy Johnson's car before the race and told him, "If we win, we have to crack the back of the car," which basically means like when you're burning it down, hit the wall, and then Friday night after Noah won, when he was burning it down, celebrating, he got close to the inside pit wall. He got closer, and then he hit it, and then he just kind of pumped the brakes, and then did a burnout and a stop. And then I remembered that video, and I was like, I'm a Gregson fan, so I'm not calling anybody out, but it just looked like he meant to do it. So that's why one of y'all's
Bristol's also. But depending on what track that was, when Johnson did it, would have been more of a, hey, let's mess the spoiler up because of taking air off the back end to make it faster. Whereas Bristol, you know, hey, we want to mess something up as far as downforce so it would handle better. So, I don't know. It's iffy. It's a big conspiracy theory for sure.
That's where I was going at. It might be just a conspiracy theory. It might be nothing. But we'll never know.
But Jimmy Johnson was definitely a cheater. So anyway, carry on.
Well, who doesn't cheat in the garage?
Me.
Come on, man. Come on.
I'm the legalest car out there.
I tell you what.
I did this year.
You're the legalest car out there. Hence the reason why your chain kept coming off. There's got to be something to cheat on there.
That was just a racing guy. They were pissed off.
Really was.
Okay.
They really were mad at me there.
I believe you there, but
I bought a very, very expensive chain this last race that had a different type of link. That wasn't like it was just a very, very expensive chain.
And it held on.
Yes, it did.
Nice. Okay. You know your chain for next year, 2023. The Cup Series. Switching gears. Going to the Cup Series, the final race at Bristol. What an up and down race from the start. Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota, I would say, with the exception of Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, all having problems, such as, for the most part, steering problems, especially for Ty Gibbs and Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, Wallace had steering issues.
You saw it on the tire. It was just power steering fluid everywhere. Nobody else had that problem. Of course, we've seen problems with just Fords and fires and everything else like that. But, man, first thing we got to talk about here, I feel, instead of that happening, is the drivers who didn't make it into the next round, which would be Kevin Harvick, Austin Dillon, no surprise there.
Oh.
Tyler Reddick, no surprise there.
Yeah.
And Kyle Busch.
I had him making it to the second round.
But Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick, both out.
Yep. Kyle, no offense, Kyle got screwed in that one.
Yeah. And if you look at those
you will not convince me otherwise that Joey Logano didn't park that car on purpose.
Man, I had that in my notes right here. Penske pulling Logano into pits to advance Cindric.
Ooh. Okay, so you're saying Joey Logano on team orders.
Absolutely. Joey Logano will do nothing but kiss Roger Penske's butt to keep a contract for sure. They pulled it back in 2013 and they did it again this year.
Okay, that's a big accusation. And rightfully so. Getting another team car in there above Reddick is not against the rule book. Team orders happen in racing all the time, most notably in Formula One. But I don't see how that is a straight up.
So you're going to tell me that they supposedly bent a control arm or whatever, but it was not drivable, but there was no sparks or anything like that coming out. But yet Blaney bent all that.
Say when Blaney drove 40 laps,
and sparks and all that. Come on now. You can't tell me. But all he did was just brush the wall.
Not hit it, brush it.
Brush.
Look.
Like clear the marbles from the wall.
I'm not going to say anything about that because that might have flown under the radar for me because, Austin Cindric got in. One way or another, he got in.
He's in now, yeah, man.
Even if he wasn't, even if Joey Logano didn't do that, Kyle Busch wouldn't have made it to the round of 12.
Yeah, because even two Toyota drivers went back out there and screwed Busch over.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace did. And so
I think Ty Gibbs actually came back in, though, before because he had some more issues before he actually passed Busch on the lap counter.
No, Ty Gibbs finished below Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch finished 34th.
Where'd Ty Gibbs finish?
35th.
Yeah, so Ty didn't hurt him.
Whereas Bubba Wallace finished 29th.
Right.
Eric Almirola finished 28th. Joey Logano finished.
Yeah, so Ty didn't hurt him. That's why I'm saying. So there's a good chance that there's a possibility that Busch could have made it if it wasn't for Logano coming in.
Or it could have been Kyle Busch didn't have a good start to the playoffs, having a blown engine at Darlington and having issues at Kansas. Just like Kevin Harvick. 2 DNFs back-to-back doesn't help you going forward. There comes a point where consistency does matter, especially in the playoffs, with it being such a tight net window.
Whereas stand up for the Ford guys.
I'm just saying, man. If you put yourself, I mean, Kyle Busch as well. Even if you put yourself in that position where you don't run well, it doesn't necessarily have to be the driver's fault. It doesn't necessarily have to be the team's fault.
No, I know. I ain't arguing with you at all because every race I did finish this year, I finished in the top 3. But now the ones I didn't finish were crap.
Which were how many? In your what?
Yeah.
No, how many races do you run each season? Let's just put this. I hate to put you on
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how many
like
there were.
10 and 15, maybe.
Okay, let's say
this. But I would say I probably didn't finish 5, Austin?
That was a pretty good number.
I mean, five or 6.
And one of them was a double points race.
Mm-hmm.
Those add up, man.
And I was probably I dead last on that one.
Whether on the local short track where you guys race at South Alabama Speedway or at Kansas, Talladega,
name on here.
Roval, South Alabama Speedway? Or why can't I say that? Because why?
I'll explain offline. Cold mic.
Ugh. It doesn't matter where you race. Consistency matters. Done. Okay.
Montgomery Motor Speedway.
Five flags.
Oh, man.
We saw our 19th different winner this year. Chase Briscoe ties the record set in 2001 with 19 different drivers. For the first 3 races in the playoffs, 3 different winners: Eric Jones, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, winning those races.
He goes by Christopher now.
He goes by Christopher now.
Yeah, wow. Who's Chris?
Sorry. But Jones, Wallace, and now Buescher winning these races. No playoff drivers won. 2 questions. 1, does that hurt the sport in the playoff schedule? Or does that help? Kind of like anybody could win at any time. And 2, do we see more than 20 winners going forward?
So we're at 19 now?
We're at 19 right now. I think we see 20.
I definitely think we see 20.
There's going to be more than 20. I think it's like 21 maybe, but definitely more than.
Yeah, I definitely could see 21, possibly 22 with the amount of races left. There's a good chance.
Right.
Definitely, man, I'm definitely happy to see RFK get a win.
Yeah, even though Keselowski wasn't the one to do it, Chris Buescher did.
The amount of faith, though, some of the statements that I've seen, Keselowski say or whatnot, that his main objective was nothing to do with himself when he got to Roush. It was to, hey, let's make sure we keep Buescher on board for a while. Let's get him a contract extension, all that kind of stuff. Like, nobody has really sewn into Buescher his whole Cup career, but that he was going to be the first one to do so, and he did. He got him a contract extension, whatnot, and it showed off because Buescher has had some very, very good runs this year. And really and truly, for the first time in a while, this year has been the first year in a while that, Roush, RFK, or, whatever now has showed or has shown any life for the past few years, or at least any type of consistent life. So I like the way, I like the direction that organization is going for sure. Keselowski's done nothing but get better himself, but it's definitely a different role when you have to show up to the track, and not only as a driver, but as a owner as well. So,
Right.
you're not wearing one hat, but you're wearing two hats. So, kudos to Keselowski for making that leap. It definitely can't be an easy task or job to take on by no means. And man, I'll tell you that, Roush looked happy. Jack Roush looked happy in those photos that I saw too. So, boy, he's getting old. Let me tell you.
Yeah, he is, and that was his first win in a while there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. So it definitely
the season.
Yeah, it definitely probably brought some life back into that old timer. So, not being ugly there by no means, but
you give him 2 more years on his life.
Yeah, it definitely, it had to bring a smile to him.
You're gonna make it to 100 now.
Yeah. So happy for them. I really am, and I think that's just going to do nothing but bring a lot more momentum.
Sure.
A breath of fresh air to not only Brad and Christopher Busher, but to all those guys that work in those shops and everything. So kudos to them. Happy for them.
Yep, I am as well. And if Preston was here, I'd say he would probably be happy again with Michael McDowell finishing 11th. If he had just been a bit more consistent, a bit more top tens, I feel like he'd be in the championship and maybe advancing more than the round of 16 this season. That team, Front Row Motorsports, watch out for them because they're rebuilding, or they're building, I should say, and they're building fast to the point where they're going to be serious competitors here to the likes of, to Charlie's point earlier in the show, maybe challenging Joe Gibbs Racing. Very good to see that. Good race. I thought it was a great race. It would definitely be race of the weekend for me just because of all the drama there for the playoffs. Going into the next round, Texas, Talladega, and the Roval. 3 big races coming up here. Not really looking forward to Texas. Definitely the Talladega, and definitely to the Roval. Let's just say this round, the round of 12 for the Cup Series, has 2 wild card races in it, and anything could happen. But we're going to start off. Wait, anything else before we wrap up? Race of the weekend for you two before we move on.
It's a toughie. Austin, you want to go first?
I'm gonna go with the Cup Series because, like you said, it was chaotic. You were rooting for one driver, and then he blew his engine or power steering pump, or he got in the wall because of a flat tire. It was you had to stay on your toes.
Oh, yeah. Or Kevin Harvick losing a tire on pit road. Speaking of pit road here, before we go here, what do you guys think about this? Bob Hockrest just tweeted this out today.
I saw that.
Joe Gibbs Racing is swapping over-the-wall pit crews for Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin hasn't had the best luck on pit road. I feel like it's more of him shooting himself in the foot. Over 30 penalties on pit road. He should be a multiple-time winner this season, but he's beating himself starting at Texas this coming up weekend. Thoughts on that? I think it's kind of like taking the defensive line or offensive line from one football team, putting him into another football team and saying, gel into the postseason. To me, I don't like it, but I think Joe Gibbs is scraping the bottom of the barrel. I think they've written off Kyle Busch.
Yep, they have.
Pretty much, because Busch's pit crew's been pretty. I mean, they had like a 9.1, 9.2 stop this year. I saw that.
Yeah, they did.
So,
they were fast.
I mean, it's just.
I'd get if they did something like they did, Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell or whoever it was they swapped out, where you just took a couple people. But taking the whole crew, I mean that's all.
That's just
they're spitting in Kyle Busch's face at this point, in my opinion.
Really, I mean,
I really was. I'd have loved for Elliott to win another championship, but at the same time, I'd have loved for Busch to win a championship with Gibbs this year, and then say, "All right, deuces, I'm out."
Carry that championship trophy out the front door and tell them they're number one.
Or what would be even better is if he wins it next season in an RCR car.
That.
I mean, either way, it would be great for Kyle Busch here. But
or
okay,
he just wrecks every Joe gets racing car next year.
That would be,
Gets around them.
I think everybody would be a Kyle Busch fan at that point.
If he would at least like take out all 4 and then all 2 of the 2311, both the 2311, at least like in 6 different races, take out all 6 of them. Like, man, I might wear an 18 shirt.
I was about to say, I would.
You mean
No,
an
it would
8
be
shirt.
18. It'd be the 8.
Oh, 8 shirt. Yeah, 8 shirt.
You got the one.
I would
I'm
wear
sorry.
a Kyle Busch shirt for sure.
I'll get an 18 shirt and purposely X out the 1 and wear it.
Ooh, you
If
should do
he,
that.
if he even dumps,
Talladega.
yeah.
And
If
a
he even
Talladega
dumps Ty
18.
Gibbs, I'll buy a damn Kyle Busch shirt.
Man, I'm telling you.
I'm proud of
Okay.
it too.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Austin. Okay, Cup race of the weekend for you, Charlie. Truck Xfinity or Cup from Bristol?
Even though the Cup Series and the playoffs right now is crazy, I'm going to go with the Xfinity race for me, just for the fact of all the controversy I feel like Ty Gibbs is bringing to the table right now, and all the negativity that is going to follow him to the Cup Series. I feel like Brandon Jones gave a huge middle finger to Gibbs and said, you know what? I'm going to let my boss next year win this race. I'm going to finish second on purpose because I could have gave him the big old nose of this car at any point in time. And I'm going to happily finish second. I'm going to the playoffs anyway. So whatever. And so I'm going to go with the Xfinity race. It made me happy. So I like it. Xfinity race it is for me.
All right, sounds good, man. Speaking of Xfinity race, the upcoming Xfinity race from the Texas Motor Speedway this weekend, Saturday, September 24th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on USA. And the Cup Series, the start of the round of 12, Sunday, September 25th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on USA as well. Race winners for both Xfinity and the Cup Series from Texas. Start off with Austin.
Xfinity, I'm going to go with Austin Hill.
Oh, gosh, I thought you were going to say Noah Gragson. Gragson.
No, because you texted in the group chat and said, no more picking Noah Gragson the rest of the season. Because you got mad.
Junior Motorsports hat and just X through it.
The kid can drive. What's the problem with him? I mean,
so can Lewis Hamilton.
He's so tired of everybody picking him.
I mean, so I changed it up.
Okay, awesome.
Chevrolet, Austin Hill. And then Cup, I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney.
Oh, nice one. All right, he won the All-Star race there earlier this year.
Now you go.
Josh Berry for the Xfinity Series. That's your fault there, buddy. And I think we keep up with the trend of winners not in the playoffs winning. Kyle Busch for the Cup Series.
I say Joe Gibbs has the grenade pin and he pulls it about halfway through the race and you see another engine blow up.
If that happens, I'll buy you a koozie of your choice from wherever you want. I'll buy you.
Because if you look at it, Darlington, 250 miles is when he fell out, blown engine. Bristol, 142 miles, engine
Austin
fired.
did research.
I did. Hey, I came to play, son.
I used to be the guy when
I don't even think you went to work today.
I did it at work.
I used to be the guy on what was called In the Marbles, always saying, I got the stats. I think you got the stats now, Austin. You're our stats guy from now on.
You're a statistician. So
if we say, what's the stats on that, Austin, you better be Johnny on the spot there, man.
Next time he's going to be like,
I mean, hey, I did go 2 for 3 out of my picks this weekend.
You did.
And I was 0.5 seconds for going 3 for 3.
That would have been impressive. All right, Charlie. Race winners this weekend from Texas.
Oh, Cup Series. I'll go with Reddick. Non-playoff driver.
I had Cindric as my second pick.
Doesn't matter. You already picked. Man, Xfinity. I was going to go with Barry, but whatever. Yep. That was going to be my second pick, so I'll go with Allgaier.
Okay. And that will do it for.
Looks like it's. Well, never mind. It ain't a junior motorsports field, so I would go with Sam Mayer, but he'll probably take himself out.
He'll probably go 4 wide on lap 1. And
yeah, he'll go 6 wide in a tri-oval there.
Which that is a rule there in the racing league we're in. Don't go 3 wide.
Oh, we left the race out.
No, I told everybody about it.
But we didn't make our picks on out of our team. Who's going to finish on the stages?
Who's going to finish? Who's going to win the race this Wednesday? Between you, me, and
we have 4 stages.
Are we picking where we're going to finish in each stage?
We don't have to say.
I have a feeling that this is going to be bad.
I've tested and I ran an AI bot race last night.
I'm going to test it as soon as we get done. I'm going to be testing it, Michigan. What y'all talking about?
I'm going to go ride in the back. I'm going to do like me and Charlie did the other night at Talladega. We're going to ride in the back to the last stage and then we're going to do fun. Wrecking everybody on the way.
I project
Dilly.
Dilly dilly.
Okay.
I wrote that.
Tune in Wednesday. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms or when that race comes out. You're not going to want to miss it.
Yeah, I follow them on Facebook, so I'll share it so y'all can share it.
Yeah, we're going to have to just all share it. Twitter, Facebook, just share it.
All right, so stage 1, who we got?
Me.
I'm gonna put me last the whole race because I've never raced here.
Matt, I'll go with you.
Stage 1, me.
I'll go with you. Stage 1.
Stage 2, me. Stage 3, me. Stage 4, me.
No, by the second or third stage, me and no.
You're gonna sweep it.
You ain't gonna sweep it.
I'm gonna sweep it.
Charlie will wreck you if you win 3. He will wreck you on the 4th stage.
I promise y'all, I am not. No, because we're going into this league as teammates.
We have to work together, gentlemen.
And I'm not going to wreck y'all. I swear to God.
Time out here. Let's save this for let's go to our final thoughts and do this.
What, the picks?
Let's finish this conversation on our final thoughts here, okay?
All right, fine.
White flag. White flag. White flag. White flag. White flag. 1 lap to go. 1 lap, Raider.
Final thoughts here on this episode of Ramblin' About Race. And if you joined us for all the whoopsie doodles and whatnots, thank you so much. Whether you're on the regular podcast platform, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube and Twitch Live, there's another one here. And I'm just going to go ahead and play this sound clip. It's one of Preston's favorite. That's my bad. Sorry. Whoopsie doodles there. Anyway, let's carry on the conversation.
All I know is, on the restarts, watch out for the, that black truck with the little red blur. That's awesome.
Only thing I remember is it was a green white checker. Charlie said, "Hey Austin, watch this." He said, "The only thing you're gonna see is a black truck go." I'm like, whatever, and I'll be dang.
It's gonna be fun.
I didn't shift from second to third. I see. I'm like,
man, if I could get restarts like that in real life, son.
Charlie, was that you? He said, "Mm-hmm." I mean, we freight trained him on the outside.
Oh yeah, I mean, y'all caught me coming out of 2 for the most part.
If it was a short track, Charlie would won that race.
Oh yeah, I'd have lapped him, son.
I'm talking about timed it perfect. As soon as it said green, 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 I'm like, dang,
my question is, I have a feeling the organizers of this racing league take it really seriously. They enjoy doing this. They're either going to love us,
yeah. Well, look,
or
so
hate us.
This race here had started out with about 38 trucks, something like and me and Austin had held out till there was about 8 or 9 left, and I said, you know what? There's a caution come out. I pitted, took 4 tires. Said, fine, I'm starting in the back anyway. Whatever. Dilly dilly.
Is that going to be our phrase for
Yeah.
No, that could be our phrase for our team.
Dilly dilly.
Dilly's
Dilly dilly.
Okay,
Okay, now
I think that's a Bud Light statement.
that's
It is.
a Bud Light thing. So Bud Light, this is your golden opportunity. If you want us to drink Bud Light, dilly dilly.
Yeah, you can convert me from Bush to Bud Light. Just saying, sponsorship.
Instead of Yingling, I mean,
dang Coors Light, not.
I mean, we got. Let's all bond together, Bush, or not Bush, but Bud. Make up your mind, Bud. Bud, dilly dilly.
Bud. Also, you're supposed to go wise.
I did. So wise.
Wow. Okay, that was your one chance, Matt. Never mind.
Oh, okay. This week,
whatever.
Make sure
We didn't make our picks.
Oh, I did. I made my picks. I'm going to sweep the race. I'm going to sweep the race.
No, you're not. Anyway.
No.
I'm going to win a stage. I'm going to win a stage. Also, because I really wasn't going to pick myself all 4 stages.
Time out. Win a stage as like number 1 win a stage, or win a stage between us 3?
No, win the stage is number 1. Me, Beamer.
But no, between the team, because whoever is number 1 of the team gets money at the end of each stage,
which is all going back to our Talladega fund.
Which is all going to Talladega.
But I was just going to make picks on what team member. So this is where y'all going to piss us off, because Matt's over here being, I will win every stage.
I'll tell you this.
And he's gonna piss me off, and then I'm gonna withdraw my statement as far as not putting him in the wall.
If you wreck me as a teammate, you're gonna be in big trouble.
He's gonna dive bomb him on 45 lap old tires.
All you're gonna see is all you're gonna see is
not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. You guys have no idea what you're expecting here at Michigan. It's gonna be chaotic.
I'll send you a picture here in just a little while. Me and Austin got playing. You're not going to be able to keep a straight face.
Yeah, you're not. You're gonna be bamboozled, flabbergasted, all the above.
Yep. Because then, whenever you show up to race, you're gonna be like, "Man, I know what these son of a guns are doing. I know what they're doing right now." Like,
how am I not in the conversation with this? I'm part of your team.
It's a long story.
You are, but I wouldn't say you lack the equipment, but we might have to
the equipment. What the heck do you mean by that?
No, we'll tell you, but we will mail you a backup set of equipment if you want to join in with us, because I have a spare one.
What are you guys talking about now?
We'll send you a picture.
We'll send you a picture.
We'll send you a picture.
Final thoughts here on this week's episode of Ramblin about Racing.
He feels like Rudolph the reindeer right now.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's scaring me, actually.
Nobody wanted to play with him.
Oh, come on, guys.
Nobody wants to play with me.
That's Eeyore.
That's Eeyore.
It's completely different, man. This week in NASCAR, we're going to start off with that. September 23rd, 1973, Bobby Allison runs down Richard Petty on the final lap to win the Wilkes 400 at North Wilkesboro Speedway. It's Allison's second win of the 1973 season. And that happened this week in NASCAR, September 22nd, 1973. Charlie, I have a feeling again that I did horrible.
You did.
I did. I deserve to be in that final spot. Let's just say I'm in the final spot here, because when I looked at the live standings, 8th on down wasn't even racing. I just finished.
No, they're not.
I mean, let's just say my proverbial metaphoric chain has come off every race in my fantasy league.
It has.
Send me that picture then. Yeah, jerk.
So you're sitting 7th with 4,500.
At least you're not last.
You're not.
I am last. In the people actively participating, I'm last.
Yeah, so I mean, if the playoffs started, you got eliminated this race.
Lord.
Oh man, so 6th is S Blaze with 4,897 points. 5th is SMR Operations with 4,970. 4th is SMR R&D with 5,002. 3rd is Super Sumo 32 with 5,013. 2nd is Matt Camper with 5,020. And I'm still first with 5,309.
All right. I like it, man. I'm not going to win. Matt Camper might. His first championship of the upcoming Ramblin' About Racing League. I have a feeling he's going to give you a run for your money. I have a feeling.
Charlie, what you gonna buy with that Amazon?
What money? Because I'm not going to get anything.
If you sweep the stages at Michigan Wednesday, you will.
No, he won't, because that's going back into the raw motorsport spot for Talladega.
No, if I sweep the stages, if I win all 4 of the stages as in the raw team.
Rawr.
Okay, we need to switch names. No, we are not doing that. Absolutely. Our victory lane speech. Our victory lane speech. Like, how do you feel like winning? Rawr.
Rawr.
Dinosaur.
Rawr.
Park.
Rawr.
We're not doing that.
So you won the inaugural, the open brawl race. How do you feel right now?
With you doing that, you can't tell me you never entered one of them women's beauty pageants dressed up in a dress. Something like that.
Hey, look, man, I'm in between jobs right now. I gotta make a living somehow.
So
next up on the stage, Charlie Hercus.
Charlie Hercus is going to start at OnlyFans. He's just going to be like, rawr, the whole time.
Rawr. Y'all should be proud of me. I cleaned my toe jam this week for y'all.
Yep. Just know when I fund the Talladega trip by myself, y'all know where that money come from.
Well, if you fund the Talladega trip by yourself, let's just say there's going to be more beer money between me and Austin to just have more of a good time.
No, we're going to sit in a suite somewhere.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
What race do you belong to? Rawr. Rawr Motorsports. Rawr.
We're officially
we're off the rails here.
We're officially Cam Motorsports now. Charlie, Austin, Matt.
Why does it have to be your name first?
Because it makes sense. Cam, or we can be Matt, Austin, Charlie.
Like a Mack truck.
We'll stick with RAR. That has more media potential.
RAR. You're gonna have a big old pussy cat on the back bumper.
Yep, we could be sponsored by like some random site, like some freaking organization like Drag Queens of America or something like that. Come on board to sponsor.
Yeah, let me go ahead and go on Trading Paints and paint my car a full rainbow flag color. RAR Motorsports.
Wow.
I will not be a part of that.
I won't either.
I will be an independent driver at that point.
VRL will get my $30 and I will leave.
Give me my money. I am withdrawing due to personal conflicts of interest. Ugh. Anyway, anything else, gentlemen, before we wrap up this week's episode?
I'm good.
All right, guys. Well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here on this week's episode of Ramblin' About Racing. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter live. Really do appreciate it, or your regular podcast platform. Make sure to head over to ramblinaboutracing.com to link to all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for the latest in the world of auto racing, and just to stay in touch with us, what's going on here. I'd like to shout out to our sponsors here and partners of the show, Stand Up to Cancer and Fanatics, for all they do, not only for us here at Ramblin' About Racing, but for what they do here at B.U.R.N.S Radio as well. For Charlie Hercus, Chuck8384, Austin Reeves, Austin_Reeves 6, I'm Matt Beamer, MBeamer22. Stay safe and have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you following the Texas races this weekend.